Hello, my name's Sophie and welcome to Spinning Good Yarn. This is a channel where we talk about spinning, knitting and sewing, and I'm going to attempt something that I think might be a bit insane, and I needed to document it. My husband has already told me he does not believe there is a chance I can do this, so came on a little bit. I don't like being told what I can and can't achieve. So I'm going to tell you the story. This is about my Christmas jumper. So I was fully set on doing one of the Northern Augustine's Christmas jumper patterns, either the one which has the round shape with the presents in the trees, I can't remember which number that is, or the one that has the bows and the sort of loopy loops on the yoke. And I was on Instagram one night, which is dangerous, and saw this Instagram post from the same designer, and was instantly like, I need that. Like I have to have this pattern. I have to have this thing. And you can't even see the full garment, right? Sorry, cat has arrived, coffee has arrived. 2 seconds. There we go, just the cat now. So I've seen this design on Instagram. I was like, I have to knit that, like I have to. So I started stalking her Instagram and found the release date for the pattern, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's not until like middle of November, or like I think it was the 12th of November. I'll put it up here. And so I was like, that's gonna be tight to do it for this Christmas. So I decided to DM her on Instagram to see whether she might be happy to tell me what yarn she used and the amounts for the size that I was, because I knew it was gonna be really tight. And when I messaged her, my local yarn store had what I think was the right colours in stock, and I can do a pre-order for them, and I was going to see them on Saturday anyway because I was going to a Christmas market near to where the shop is. So I was like, this is going to be fine. And she probably was just super busy but didn't come back to me at all on any of it. So it meant I couldn't order the yarn to be ready for the release date, because my hope was I'd get the yarn, I'd have it ready, I'd literally be able to swatch on the day that it released and start cast on the next day. Fast forward, we are now at the 18th of November. We've lost 6 days, which is just painful. Because once the pattern came out, I was like, cool, they are the right shades. Went back to my local yarn store, gone, sold out, because they were one of the few stores in the UK that had sold like both types of the yarn that you needed. And I was like, damn, that is a pain. So I started scouring the UK for this yarn in the right colours and the right amount, because I wanted exactly what she had. And there was no one. I couldn't find a single supplier in the UK that could ship me the yarn. But I've gone nuts about this pattern. I'm like, I have to have it. I'm not substituting it. So I ended up having to order from France using Google Translate and everything else to try and get the yarn to me, because they had it in stock. So I ordered it from a French yarn store, and they were happy to ship to the UK, and off it went. So I bought the yarn on the 12th. It just took me a bit of finagling to be able to do it. So on Saturday, this Saturday, today's Tuesday, so what would that have been? It's 18th today, 17th would have been Monday, 16th. So on the 15th, I think, of November, I get a threatening text from Royal Mail saying you have a customs fee due on your package. Nothing else, no link to pay, no reference code, nothing. Just you have to pay us this amount of money. And I'm like, cool, great, like let's figure this out. I was out on the Saturday, as I mentioned, at this Christmas market, and when I got home I was like, oh, they will have left that fee to pay slip and it'll be fine, and I'll do it and it'll come and it'll be there on Monday and I can cast on Monday. There was absolutely nothing in my emails, nothing else in my texts, no information about how to pay the fee or the parcel number. So I go back to the original French transaction and I find the shipping number for La Poste. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I use that shipping number on La Poste and I can see that it's entered the UK. And I'm like, okay, so Royal Mail aren't, like, it's not a scam text. They do have my parcel and there is money to pay. But when I tried to use the same tracking number from Royal Mail's like, that parcel doesn't exist. So I was like, okay, I'm not quite sure what to do here. This is getting a bit silly. So Sunday, I couldn't do anything anyway. So our local parcel delivery depot, who I rang, are closed on a Sunday and they didn't open until Monday morning. So I was like, I can't see whether it's just sitting there. I'm gonna have to figure this out. So I ended up emailing again the yarn store in France to be like, hi, is there any other information that you can possibly give me? My yarn is somewhere in the UK, but I can't tell them how to get hold of it. And they, bless them, managed to find out that the UK had applied a new tracking number to the parcel on entry to the UK. So the tracking number I was using wasn't valid. And I then managed to convince Royal Mail that I did in fact have a parcel to pay for. And they'd already by this point on Monday taken it to Exeter, which is an hour and a half away from where we are, to their parcel depot. So I had work then on Monday, because it was Monday before I had the chance to do this, and I didn't have time to drive on Monday to go and pick this parcel up. So I paid the fee, and the earliest next delivery day is Wednesday, tomorrow, the 19th of November. So this is where I think I'm a bit insane, because that gives me no friggin' time to actually knit this in time for Christmas. So there are 30 days in November, right? So it'll arrive on the 19th. So we've got 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. That's 12 days. And then 25 days is 37 days. Yeah, 37 days, I think. But that's including Christmas Day. So that would mean like I'm casting it off on Christmas Day, which is so fast to knit a DK weight colourwork jumper. Like, it is insane, but I really want to try it and see how far I get. And I thought I would bring you along on the journey of me trying to do this, and we'll see how far I get. And I thought I could film every 5 days and do a bit of a like tiny vlogmas of just me in this jumper. Yeah, so I thought that'd be fun. The other thing that I'm doing that adds to the insanity of all of it, which I kind of do know what I'm doing, but one of the motifs in the colourwork, kind of here-ish, I'll put a picture back up, but is these little people. And the only part of the jumper I don't love are those little people. They just I don't necessarily vibe with them. They feel like weirdly kind of Germany-ish. And like I didn't kind of want that specific vibe. So I have gone away to design a different colourwork motif to do some trees, which I think will be really pretty, and will add a bit more of like the Christmas vibe to it, because I want it to be subtly Christmas, not like in your face Christmas, but I think the trees would help me like connect it with Christmas. So I did 3 different charts of potential trees, and then I did a poll on Instagram and a poll on YouTube, and they haven't quite closed yet, but mostly people are going for either B or C, which is really interesting. So I'm going to wait for that to close, but I'm going to edit the pattern to have my own colourwork motif in there. And I think that'll just be fine. I think I'll just have to catch some more floats, or I did think worst case I could just, like, because it might be big blocks of colour in some of the trees, I could just do a white stitch in between and then duplicate stitch at the very end, like over those little white stitches, so that I don't have to worry about the floats really, because the whole rest of the pattern doesn't look like I'll have to worry that much. It's not too many runs of colour. There's few actually, so maybe it will make odds. But yes, so that's what I'm attempting to do. So I'm treating today as day 0, and day -1, I guess, which is yesterday, I did the colourwork chart proposals and mapped those all out, made sure they all worked in the stitch counts. And I have also sorted out all of my whips a little bit, because obviously everything pretty much is going to have to go on hold. So this is my Berlin scarf, which I'm hoping I might finish up today or potentially tomorrow, because I will have to swatch and wait for the swatch to dry tomorrow. So I think I probably will have like some time to finish this, probably. I only have 1 ball of wool left, and I'm just knitting to the end, and so far I've done a ball a day. So that's kind of what I'm going to try and do today. And then I have the weekend hat, which I have done a little bit of work on, and I think this one is one that I will probably still work on a little bit along with the other one I'm about to show you, just as these are more portable projects than a big colourwork jumper will be, and I'm transitioning back into work through November and December, so I won't want to take, I don't think, this like really challenging colourwork piece to work with me for, I only get half an hour lunch and that's to eat as well, so it's normally like 10 minutes of knitting, so I think I still might get a few rows on that, but I'm not obviously prioritising it. And then I am on my second ruffle sock at the moment. So again, this could be another one that like just gets chucked in my work bag. It'll only be for like 1 or 2 days a week, and it's only like 20 minutes of knitting. It's not really that big of a deal. And then let's pull these needles out before they get lost. I will put this on pause totally. This is my Seasons cardigan by Zeta in my hand spun. So it's hard to show you because of all the needles. Let me see if I hold them together, whether that helps. No, it doesn't. But yeah, so this is a fisherman's rib, half fisherman's rib actually, cardigan. And last night I just finished my raglan increases and split for sleeves, so that I'm at a good point to pick this one back up again in January, and kind of know where I am. So I've gone, like, the pattern split up into sections, and I've gone through a whole section so that I'm kind of clear. So that's, I think, what I'm going to try and do today. I've got some cleaning, quite a lot of cleaning actually, that I need to do today and sort the house out. So I think I'm going to do, like, when I used to do we used to do reading sprints. I think I'm going to do knitting sprints. So like half an hour of knitting as a sprint, no other activities, no scrolling, blah, blah, blah. And then half an hour of cleaning up my house until I get through the cleaning, and then I can just knit for the rest of the day. But yes, I don't think there's much more prep that I'm going to be able to do today, other than I'm going to make my project bag, find my needles and all of those sorts of things for it, so that they're completely ready. I have my little Chiago interchangeable set, but I will pack like a little notions pouch and everything, so that I'm completely ready to go. When I start, I'm also going to just read the gauge swatches. I think there's 2 different gauge swatches that I need to make, one with a colourwork section and one as stockinette in the round, I think. So I will just check and find like a good repeat of colourwork that I can use for my swatches. But beyond that, without yarn, I think there's very little else I can do. So yes, I will update you later on. And then I think we're going to do little 5-day attempts at this. So this is day 0. Welcome to the challenge. See you guys at some point soon. Hello, lovely people. It's now 20th of November. So day 1, it didn't arrive yesterday. Rama didn't deliver it on my chosen day. So we have lost another day, but it has arrived. And I have just finished work for the day and just thought I'd open up my parcel. So they sent me this little dude, little postcard. This is, I think, from the yarn brand, or is that the no, that's the yarn shop that I bought it from. They sent me some stickers. Whittle love those. Oh, and you get a little parcel. Let's have a little look at what's in here. So there's 2 little things that say I'm handmade, like little tags that you can put on your things. I really like those actually. I'll definitely keep hold of that. I also have a little sample of soak, which is actually my preferred yarn wash. Scentless, this one. I think I usually use eucalyptus. I'm going to put all my nice little things in here. I think it's a really cute idea, the little I'm handmade labels. I might have to get some of those for myself. Then they have given me a little sample of Peer Gynt, which I think is very cute. I probably won't keep this one just because I have used Peer Gynt a couple of times and I actually find it quite itchy. So we probably won't keep that one, but I still think it's a little cute thing to have brought. This is lovely. Like, this has been such a lovely, oh look, a made with love sticker for your socks and a happy Christmas label. Those are so sweet. They're all gonna go in here. I have like a label collection to sew. I need to sew one actually into this jumper. I realised the other day that if I wear the same clothes all the time, I do promise I wear like different stuff underneath, but it is the season of hand knits in our house at the moment. And then there are some little pieces of twine that you can attach your lovely labels for handmade gifts. Such a cute idea. Really like this. I'm not doing much gift knitting this year, which is good because I'm knitting myself a Christmas jumper like a maniac. And then the last thing is very cute, is 3 little circular stitch markers. Oh, those aren't those cute? So those were in my project bag. So thank you so much to the Yarn Shop for shipping this to me, for the free gift, everything. It's so much appreciated. Now let's get to the yarn, what I have been waiting for this whole time. Right, so let's have a little nose. I'm going to open them all up and then we're going to try and cast on a swatch in the next like half an hour. So, oh, it is lovely and soft. So this is the Craya Deluxe Silk Mohair in the colour red, and it is 45% silk, 33% mohair and 22% baby alpaca. It's incredibly soft. So I have 2 of these for my size. And then I'm guessing this is going to be the white mohair, and then all the other yarn do together. Oh no, more mohair. More mohair. There's the third skein in red. And I got this off-white one. In the sample it said she used colour 3, which is slightly yellower, but I don't do well with yellows, so I've gone for a cream. And I have 3. 4, 5 mohair balls. Beautiful. Just as soft, same composition. And then this must be the sweater quantity of yarn. Let's have a look at these. I won't hold up everyone because there's a few. But this is what it looks like. This is the organic wool one by Craya Deluxe. Also so soft. Oh my god, that's so soft. I didn't expect I was going to have that high of a reaction. Sorry, that wasn't me overegging it. It was legitimately a surprise. Yeah, really lovely. I don't know whether this is just wool. Yeah, it's just 100% merino wool, but that is so lovely. So I have a little collection of those spread out in front of me. I have quite a lot of yarn here. I was planning on using my like whip basket for my product that was on hold, but seeing how much yarn I have spread out, I think I might need to use that instead, because I really don't have that much room upstairs at the moment for more yarn. So yeah, I think that might be the way to go. I'm gonna say bye for a minute, tidy everything up, decide what I'm doing with my basket, and then we'll get my needles and cast on. So here is my stockinette swatch knitted in the round, and I've just done maths, and I'm only off by half a stitch in the width. It's going to be slightly, ever so slightly tighter. It's 24.49 instead of 24, and my row gauge is just a little bit longer, so that's 32 rather than 30, which I think will be okay. There's a few bits in the pattern where it's like knit to length, so I think I can make up extra length on that. So I think I'm going to stick with the same needle size for this bit. I do need to swatch in the round, but because the yoke is in this like white colour first, I think that means I can cast on my collar and just get started with the knitting. So I think that's going to be a big boon for me to feel like the sweater's being knitted, and I will obviously knit the colourwork swatch to make sure that I have the correct needle size when I get to the colourwork, but that doesn't come until a little while into the yoke. So we're going to cast on. We have to do Judy's Magic cast on. We need to use 2 size 3 needles, so that's going to be fun. I probably won't show it because I'm not the best at Judy's Magic cast on. I don't know it by heart, so I'm probably going to be watching YouTube as I go, but I'll let you know when I've got like a round on the needles. We have cast on. The collar is taking shape, and it wasn't that hard, but it's just a weird way to do a cast on. Like, you're doing Judy's Magic cast on 2 needles and then saving half of your stitches to sew your collar down to itself, which seems to me like quite a lot of effort for what could have just been like a double folded sewn collar. But we will see what we end up with, whether it sells itself to me, I guess, later on down the line. I'm just going to carry on with this tonight, and I'll update you and let you know where we get to tomorrow. It is day 2 and I have finished work for the day. and have about an hour's worth of knitting before my little boy comes home from nursery. I'm still on a phase return, but I was really tired today. I had to sleep straight after, so I didn't get to knit for any of it. But I am knitting a total of 16 centimetres of rib, which is a lot of rib on little needles. I'm about a quarter of the way through. So I don't think that's too bad yesterday, considering I just had to swatch as well. I'm going to get on with that one. I also chose, I won't show you them, but to print out my charts for the first time. And I also have a little bit of post that I thought we'd open together. Because it's yarn related, or like this project related. So the first thing that I got was another set of Chiagu size 3s, because I'm using my Knit Pros at the moment. I'll use that to knit the collar now, but I like to have a set of Chiagus that for kind of the projects that I could get my way to, and I obviously was missing these ones from the set. They just weren't in the normal set, and I like to have like doubles of most stuff, and in this case I actually ended up having to use, I don't know if I've shown you this already, but I'm using one shorty and one 3 because I didn't have like 2 normal size 3s, but it's fine, it's worked. And then I also got in here, I ordered them from 2 different people, I think because one was out of stock. I also got the Chiagu US size 8, so that's 5mm, because that was the other project that I've done recently that I didn't have a needle for. So I'm kind of like slowly gathering them, only as I'm using my other needles that I have until I have like a full set of each, because it was too expensive for me to buy it all at once. But yeah, that is my little post haul. And I'm going to carry on, get some knitting done, catch up with you a bit later. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm hiding from my baby, who's not yet awake. I managed to knit all 16 centimetres of ribbing yesterday on day 2, and I'm going to be real quick because I'm just trying to sew the collar, like fold the collar and sew, not knit it, 3 needle knit, a bind off. Sew those together, and then I'm on to the beginning of the yoke and the shaping. So yeah, really quick up. Okay, it is day 3. And we got up, so obviously I filmed a little bit whilst I was knitting my collar down. And we went out to a garden centre near us that does like an amazing Christmas display with like animatronics and stuff, and had an absolute blast. So it's like we've only just got back and got him down. But I did manage to fold my collar over and do the short row shaping along the back. So I'm now, excitingly, into my first chart. There's a number of rows that are just in white to establish some increases. So I'm going to do those, and then I do need to swatch in colour work so that I know whether my tension's okay. I think it's probably going to be fine if I'm honest, but I will swatch and be patient. I have got my charts printed out, so that's exciting. Just because it means I don't have to stare at my phone the whole time, and then I have a ruler and a highlighter. I'm going to do old school today. Yeah, and get started. It's very exciting. Yeah, so there's 28 rows where it's just in white. So I'll probably do 14 and then swatch. That is what I've got left. My first ball and my mohair, I've got quite a lot left. I'm going to watch a little bit of knitting content on YouTube whilst I get started today. I'll let you know how we get on later. So just a tiny update. The end of day 3, I'm working my way around the yoke. I'm hoping that where these increases are that you can see will block out. But yeah, I feel like I've done really well. This little gingerbread man shows where I was at first thing this morning. So I am working my way through. I think I've nearly done 20 rows of the yoke. I'm going to have my shower now. I managed to burn my hand, so that's why I've got a plaster on. You might have seen that from some other clips. So I'm going to have my shower now and kind of get cosy and ready for bed. And I may knit a little bit more, but yeah, you see what I mean about these increases, the make one lefts? We'll see how they look. But yeah, I'm really happy with my progress so far. Hello. So it's Sunday night on day 4 of my knitting, and I'm getting into the colour work now. So it's been a little bit fiddly. I normally knit English style, and that's why I'm looking down as I'm knitting, because I knit colour work with one strand held continental, one strand held English style, and the dominant colour is the one you want, English style. Here's my little very beginnings of my colour work. But the colour that there's more of in this jumper, at least at the top, is the one that's being held continentally. So this has taken me a bit longer. You can probably tell that I'm just a bit slower, and it takes a bit more mental energy to make sure I pick the stitches up properly. I think I'm actually probably faster like per stitch once I get going on continental, but there's not the same muscle memory where it just happens by itself. That does also mean that my tension is never as good when I do colour work, because I'm having to think so much. Let's try and show you. I'm just going to put my stitch stoppers on so that I don't lose my work. So I'll show you close up. So if you can tell, it's just a bit more lumpy bumpy. I mean, there's some increases here, which is the stuff I'm knitting all English style, but when the colour work starts, it definitely does get, and it's not the floats are fine. It is just the difference of my tension, but I'm hoping that will block out okay. I did end up, I swatched and needed to go up 2 needle sizes for the colour work. So I think that is noticeable. Like, I think you can tell that it's quite a few sizes up, but there's not really a lot I can do about that. I need to get the tension right, or else the whole project won't work. So I think it's just one of those things where, yeah, it's just going to be a little bit noticeable maybe in that transition from the yoke. I kind of wish that had gone up, although my tension was fine, it was perfect on the stockinette in the round without the colour work. So I think it's fine. I think I just need to get over myself, and perhaps because this is like a project I've been really looking forward to, and one that I waited for such a long time, I kind of want it to be perfect, and I think I need to let go of perfect. That's one of the things that is good for me about making, is letting go of perfect. I am a little bit concerned about just my pace, given that we're now into the colour work. Most of the jumper is in colour work, and I'm slower in colour work. I raced through the plain stockinette part of the yoke, but this design doesn't really have a plain stockinette body at any point. You are working colour work, the entirety of the body, the entirety of the arms. So I can only hope that my speed is going to pick up as I knit, and this will be the most colour work I've ever knitted in one go. I've knitted colour work on socks, and I've knitted colour work on smaller projects, but I've never knitted a colour work sweater. So this is like a big challenge project for me, which is nice actually. It feels like it's the right time. It was one of my goals for this year to knit a colour work jumper, and technically I've knitted some striped jumpers, which kind of count in the broader sense of using colour in knitting, but this is what I meant, like 2-stranded colour work when I wrote the list. So it feels nice to be doing that at the end of the year, and to have given myself that year to get more confident with how to knit colour work and my tension and my floats and stuff through having knitted, I don't know, 5 or 6 maybe less, hang on, 4 I think pairs of colour work socks, and I think learning how to keep my floats in order for socks, which there's very little room for error, has probably put me in like an okay stead for my first ever garment in colour work. But yeah, I am just a little bit worried about the time of it. So
I am just starting my knitting for the day, but if you see where that little dude is, that's where we finished yesterday. So I've knitted the stockinette portion. I am into the colour work, but the colour work is definitely slower. I think the other thing I have to remind myself of, that's really easy to forget, is that I'm currently knitting the yoke, which means I'm currently still increasing, and I will split for sleeves, and the body stitches will reduce from where I am by the time at the end of the yoke. And I think I've only got 3 more increases left until I'm at the widest point of the garment. So I do need to remind myself of that as well, that these are longer rounds, but the time pressure is not getting to me, but just like I'm aware of it, I think, as I'm transitioning to knitting that is less natural to me. Like I can't, things like I don't know if you noticed just then, like I split stitch, and when I knit English style I can fix things like that without having to look at my work. It's just all in my fingers, whereas this is all in my head. So yeah, anyway, enough rambling. I'm going to carry on doing some knitting, and I'm watching Minty Knit Socks. I love her channel so much. I love that she is like part knitter, part sock knitter, part yarn buyer. I love it. I find it really like nice to watch someone vicariously enjoy buying yarn and not like feeling, sorry, I had a fly, not feeling like guilty about it or not judging herself for it. I think it's really lovely to see that, because there's a lot of, you know, I like watching stash busting stuff, and I feel quite aware of my own consumption rates. But I also think there's something nice about somebody saying like, I actually have the budget and the space for this, and this is a thing I really like, and here's me showing you the things I really like. And she also does use her stuff. So like she'll have like advents or whatever. She gets a number of advents every year, which is also fun. But then you will see her like later in the year like still using those yarns, which is kind of nice. Like I really feel like she is someone who has a really large stash, but like knows her stash, shops her stash, and it's just really satisfying. So I'm kind of listening to her as I'm trying to get my continental knitting down. The other thing is I think I'm going to have to be kind to my joints, because again, muscle memory of having knitted English style means I basically never have any kind of knitting pain. Like I can knit for probably 4 or 5 hours straight comfortably, because I think I've just done the motion so many times. Anything that's kind of like tweaking over time, I've had to adjust to be able to keep knitting, and it's not true with continental. So I'm feeling pressure up here on my shoulder at the minute, which probably means I need to relax this shoulder down, or maybe have a pillow under this arm, because I tension differently. So yeah, anyway, I will make sure I look after myself. I only have one body, and we still have a lot of time left to do this jumper. Like I'm doing well. I'm in the middle of the yoke. We're not doing terribly, and I'm only on day 4 so far. So yes, I'll carry on and let you know, maybe show you where I get to by the end of the day. Hello lovely people. It is now day 5, which is going to conclude the first part of this jumper series. I'm doing okay, I think. I thought I would have finished the yoke by day 5, and I don't think I will. Partly because I'm planning on having a bath tonight, and like my pregnant body needs some like TLC. I need to get some hot water on my back, and I also need to just like fully relax. And I think just because colour work is like a little bit more intense, for me, that I need to kind of be a bit more aware. I can't like fully relax when I'm doing it. Like obviously I'm chill, like I'm knitting, but yeah, anyway. So I don't think I'm going to get through the whole of the yoke tonight. I'm not too far off though, to be honest. I am on row 49 of 61, and then there's some repeats of 61, but I'm just counting up until 61 as my kind of first marker. And this is what we're looking like so far of the colour work, just getting into the bow. And actually, part of the reason why I stopped was I need to add a new ball of yarn. And I thought it would be interesting to show you how this yarn is spun, It's really nice, really, really, really lovely wool. And as a spinner, I just found this quite interesting. So this is what the yarn itself looks like. Hopefully it will focus for you. Try and get something in the way of my face, that usually helps. There you go, I think you can see. So it's quite like tightly plied, but because I'm split splicing this, well, I'm not split splicing, I'm using water because it's white. I don't trust like anything that I've eaten, basically. But when I'm splitting the plies, it's just a 2-ply yarn. The 2 individual plies, let's try and do this without breaking one of them. The 2 individual plies, here we are, there we go, we can show you them there, are actually like fairly loosely plied. Like they if I kind of stretch it out and take a bit of the twist out, cover my face again, can you see? Like it's not unspun, but it's like not, there's not a lot of twist going on in there. Like, you wouldn't take much to kind of take the twist out, which I think is really interesting. I don't know if that's possibly what contributes to this being like such a soft yarn, is that it's like underspun in the single. Again, you can kind of see here, again if I cover my face, how, can you see just here? Sorry, it's so annoying how it won't focus on things up close, but how it's actually like unspinning a little bit just here. And that is, again, yeah, just because it's, the singles are, as I say, kind of a bit underspun. So yeah, interesting to look at it that way. So I'm planning on knitting a little more this evening. I think I'd like to maybe do like 4 more rounds, and then I'm probably going to just do some self-care for the rest of the night. And I'll edit this tonight, I think, so that I can upload the video tomorrow for you. But yeah, it's been really fun. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching me knit for the last week-ish, like just shy of a week. I'm doing it in 5-day increments. I think I'm pretty pleased with where I've gotten in 5 days. I don't think that's bad. I think I will probably be through the yoke, fingers crossed, by day 7. And we have 30 days to go. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to knit for a little bit this evening, and I'll check in with you in my next video. Bye!